All right, a very good afternoon to you. It's time for News Beat here on Metro TV. We're live from the Akiabu studio at North Ridge. I am Anil Fompofo. You can follow us on social media platforms. Facebook is Metro TV Ghana. On Instagram and Twitter is Metro TV_GH. You can also follow us on channel 277 DSTV. We take a closer look at the headlines of the stories now. Elembele DC freed following his arrest after police accused him of obstructing their work in an attempt to retrieve a missing excavator. Ghanaians beginning to feel the pinch of the NCA punitive action as some mobile subscribers are unable to make calls. Meanwhile, chaos erupts at some registration centers as some persons who have registered their SIM cards are facing similar fate. And also on the international front, the U.S. has approved nearly $2 billion in new aid for Ukraine, including $675 million in arms supply as the country battles Russia invasion. Now, its Accredited Circuit Court has dropped charges leveled against Elembele District Chief Executive Officer Kwesi Bonzo. The police has accused the DCE Kwesi Bonzo and 4 others of obstructing their operations in the search for 2 missing excavators in Elembele. Interestingly, the police have taken out the DCE in the case and still holding on to other 4 who are currently in custody. The court in Takoradi did not hear the infamous Galamsey and missing excavators case this morning, as earlier indicated by the Ghana Police Service. All accused persons were brought to the courts this morning, but subsequently the police indicated that they were sending them back, the 4 accused, to the police cell, while the DCE was rather freed. Now, Western Regional Correspondent Zambaga Rufai Saminu joins me live via phone to tell us more on these updates. Saminu, thank you for your time. You're welcome once again to Newsbeat. So what else is happening? And can you tell us why only the DC has been granted bail?
At the moment, as we speak, the top hierarchy or the top echelon of the New Patriotic Party, and precisely those coming from the Elembele constituency, are working around the clock to get the other 4 also bailed. But the 5 Chinese who were neck deep in the Galamsey operations when the district chief executive, who is the chairman of the Elembele Security Council, stormed the area to stop the illegal mining activities and to burn some of the machines, which led subsequently to the seizure of the 2 excavators, were also brought to the police headquarters this morning, just an hour ago. And then what is currently happening is that the police command and some leadership of the New Patriotic Party, the district chief executive and his lawyer, at the moment, have been locked up in the meeting, and all observers around the premises have been instructed to go down whilst they continue negotiations as to how the outcome is going to be. We are yet to hear from either the lawyer of the DCE or the police themselves. And so at the moment, the latest development is that the 5 Chinese who were involved in the Galamsey have also been arrested through operations of the police service, and they were brought to the police headquarters this morning, and they were also sent to the top to meet, I don't know whether to meet the police hierarchy or whatever. And then the 4 who have also been accused, who I must say are boys of the DCE, were also brought. Initially, they went to court, and then later on were told that the case would not be heard, and so we had to all move to the police headquarters again. And as we speak, nobody is saying anything. But the information we are gathering is that it seems all charges against the DCE have been dropped. But that can only be confirmed if the police officially comes out to say, okay, indeed, we haven't found anything suspicious about the conduct of the DCE, and so the charges have been dropped. Or his lawyer, if his lawyer also comes out to say that the charges have been dropped, then we can authenticate that. But at the moment, these are the snipers of information we are gathering around. But the DCE, per the conditionalities assigned to him before he was bailed yesterday night, was instructed by the police not to speak to the media. And so because of that, it is difficult to have the DCE on record to confirm anything, although he had the freedom and liberty to interact with people around the premises of the police headquarters. But for us to be able to get official information from any of the parties, it is still very difficult.
Mood in the area?
Oh, in fact, this morning up to this afternoon, is somehow calm. But as compared to yesterday night, when some of the party people stormed the area and were, threatening brim and stones that they will not allow the DCE, who is at the forefront of fighting the illegal mining activities, to be used as a scapegoat. But as we speak today, calm has returned, and the party bigwigs and the police command, and as well as the council of the DCE, have been locked up at the top. So we are just waiting for them to come down to tell us something concrete or anything official, whether the charges against the DCE have been dropped. But the information we are also gathering is that the 4 accused would also be granted bail.
How about the other excavator? Are we still searching for it?
Yeah, they are still searching for it. And because right now that the Chinese have been arrested and brought to the police headquarters, maybe they can also assist the police as to the whereabouts of the remaining missing excavator.
These Chinese men who were arrested, were they in the forest or they were living in the town?
The premises where the mining was taking place, that is within the confines or the land that belongs to the Nkrofo Agricultural Senior High School. And that prompted the action of the DCE, who is an old student, and the Member of Parliament, Emmanuel Amakufibua. Remember that the Member of Parliament was the first person to have alerted the security that this was going on behind the backyard of the senior high school, and alerted the police command and all security operatives to wake up, to their bailing and do the right thing in making sure that these illegal mining activities would be halted in the area for once. And then the district chief executive, who is chairman of the District Security Council, who was in Accra by then, quickly rushed down and took up the mantle to carry out the operations that led to the seizure of the 2 excavators and at the same time burning of some of the machines at the premises where the illegal mining was taking place. But even when all these operations took place, the Chinese were not arrested. And then the missing excavators became the subject of discourse. Subsequently, the police claimed they were doing their own investigations, and in the course of doing that, they found one of the excavators without informing the DCE. So on their way, taking the excavators to Takrady, the DCE was given a hint by some of the community members, and the DCE was also on his way to Takrady. So the DCE spotted the excavators and confronted them. So the police officers who were escorting it, then stopped to have discussions with the DCE. So in the course of the discussions they were having, some fracas ensued between the police and then the boys of the DCE, that led to the arrest of all of them.
Right.
And that is why it brought the whole matter up to this stage.
Right, Zambaga Ufai Saminu, thank you for your time coming through from the Western region. Now, the communications director of the New Patriotic Party in Elembele constituency, Stephen Yao, said that the Akufo-Addo-led government is losing the fight against illegal mining. This comes after the arrest and long hours of detention of the Elembele DC, Kwesi Bonzo, following his inquiry bill was granted. Let's listen to him.
The DC reports to the regional minister, if I'm correct, and I would say the DC is under the regional minister. And when I confronted my DC, he said yes. The first call that he made was to the regional minister. So at least he knows that the DC has been arrested. So at least if he's even at a duty, it's at least send somebody to go and look at the DC, because he's working for him. Up to now, the regional, we have not heard about the regional minister here. It's very painful to be a party member, to be a communication director of Elembele. I'm hurt, and I'm free the pain in me. That's an MPP. We are not fighting Galamsey.
Is the party chairman in the region?
Yes, he's in the region.
Who?
The party chairman in the DCR. We called him 4 times. I don't know. I didn't pick. We called him. This morning when I hear my first vice called him, I called him, and he was not picking. Fine, I don't know where he is. I may be sacked from the party. But I would say, I would advise myself.
Now, Nana Intiako is a Elembele constituency youth organizer and joins me via phone for a conversation on this development. Nana, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat. So your head of District Security Council has accused you of being complicit in Galamsey activities in the area. How does that the party and the constituency actually react to this accusation?
Thanks for the time, and thanks to your viewers and listeners. I think it's unfortunate happenings at Elembele now. As a party and as a constituency, our position is we would want the police, as requested by our honorable DC, who is the head of DISEC, requested for an independent investigator. So that's the position of the party. We were looking forward for an independent person to come and investigate the police and the DCE and see who is wrong. But unfortunately, we were in court this morning. Ready for battle, ready to face the rigors of the law. But I'm told the police has withdrawn the case. We're at the circuit court and we've come back to the police headquarters. But our disappointment is we would want the police and the DCE to go through a genuine investigation to prove who is at fault. So as a party and as a youth commander of Elembele, what we are saying is we are disappointed in our own regional minister. That is our worry. And our regional executive, because yesterday this has been a national issue. Yesterday, we were at the scene where the DC was taking the picture and he was arrested. We came to the regional police headquarters as early as 7:30 a.m. and we left at 9:30 p.m. in the evening. The regional minister didn't show up. None of the regional executive. Around 7:30 p.m., we saw our regional secretary. That was just by the way. But as a party in Elembele, we are disappointed in the hierarchy of the regional executive and the regional minister.
So you must agree, or you may agree with your communications director, that your own party officials at the top hierarchy, from the minister to DISEC level, are, cited or are involved in this illegal activity of Galamsey. Not so?
I'm not saying my regional executive, neither my regional minister is involved in the Galamsey. But what we are saying that we are disappointed in their actions and inactions toward looking for the truth of this matter.
Their inactions is not sort of not paying attention to what's going on and totally ignoring. What are their actions?
That's exactly so.
And their actions are what? You said actions and inactions. I've mentioned the inactions. How about the actions?
Actions like when the incident happened,
right?
The regional police commander came to arrest the DC at his office and at Nkrofo. Who were there? We didn't allow that. We thought it was unlawful for the regional commander to do so. The party and the region has not issued any statement towards that thing. So what is their position? Assuming without admitting that the DC did what he is being accused of. Even the Chinese who were arrested in connection with the Galamsey, they were given air conditioned car. People were following them. Even the Chinese who are not Ghanaian nationals. Was a DC of Elembele, who have single-handedly fight Galamseyers for all those years. Who burnt excavators, who burnt machines, and the regional minister and his regional executive are aware of the happenings in Elembele.
Is the DC involved in Galamsey?
Never.
Is the police in the area involved in Galamsey?
That one is up to them. When you go and arrest excavator and it is in the possession of the police and it got missing, and the police interest is only to arrest the DC and those who brought the excavator, whilst the police are ignoring those involved in the Galamsey. Let me give you this insight. We went on site. What we saw there with your reporters, we have found some items, the same items, in a certain man's house. We informed the police. They went and took inventory. The man has not been arrested. So why those in charge are not being arrested, but those taking pictures are being arrested and accused with false charges?
Nana, you are just focusing on what has happened after the fact. That is the arrest process. Have you shown any interest? Because your communication director has indicated that your government has failed in the Galamsey fight. Are you interested as party executives? Do you follow up? Do you ensure that DISEC is doing what it is expected to do? Not necessarily what the arrest process has been, but the Galamsey that is destroying your land.
Yes, of course. I'm an Nzima. And anything negative that happened to the land goes against me and my generation to come. So I'm here to protect my generation to come. Let me give you this instant. When the issue pop up, I, myself, the communication director and the first vice chairman was the first to go to site, take pictures of the happenings. That time the DCE was at Accra, who gave him the first pictures. So when the DC came and went to do the arrest, we were part of the team who did the arrest. So we have fought this for over 5 years. And they know me. When I'm coming, they will say, Intiako is coming to arrest us. And that is what we do.
Okay, right. We'll leave it here. Nana Intiako, we'll get back to you. He is the youth organizer for the MPP in Elembele, and we'll get back to you and give you some more details from the area. Severe pollution of the Butre River by Galamsey activities has left residents with the brown-colored water for their daily use, including drinking. They say they have no alternative to this contaminated river. Metro News' Henry Kwesibedu visited some communities along the Butre River in the Western region and has filed this report.
The Butre River runs through the Ahanta West municipality as well as the Mpoho and the Wasa East district in the Western region. The river is the major source of water for residents of Usejo, Freti, Otopo, and other communities close by. Residents say the water was clean and clear before the river was taken over by Galamsey activities.
Best 5 years now, Queen Potosuma, the Tumu, the Uquensina, or the Sumu. Yeah, one name was Sumu, Open Sumu, the Damunampu or Dambu, and that is Nai, the Ribasa, and Tumu. Women and children in this community use the river water for all their domestic work.
Despite the pollution from mining and washing in the river, residents drink this water without any treatment. Food vendors around here also source their water from the polluted river. Comfort Kwesi, who operates a small eatery, says she has no choice than to use the contaminated water to make food for sale.
I say, Nana, yes, I had Eddie Bibiara. And in so baby, Papi away, Nina say, Missing on back. It is here and in there, said Bibiala. And in so baby. I'm so for what you want, I see when you walk. It is maybe what to clear. Yes, I near the alarm near the Atu. Near the
23-year-old Innocent Mochia is unemployed and lives with his parents here. He complains about side effects whenever he uses the water from the Butre River for bathing. He adds that he cannot afford to buy water.
It's need on yet. Because one thing, it might be and now we soon so on one and this also a Jumani Ghana had a make a crew Ghana and a Jumania. You must have widen.
Residents here are pleading with authorities to clamp down Galamsey activities soon in order to save their source of water, the Butre River.
The Galamsey people have polluted the water. Because of that, you can't use it to cook and bath. But sometimes when you bath and our self is Asian, so you want the Galamsey people to stop doing that so that you can use it to cook and bath.
Henry Besit Bedu, Metro News, in Sejo.
And as you can see in the videos, the type of water they're drinking in that community. Mining practices in Ghana continue to have tremendous harmful impacts on people's livelihoods, while at the same time becoming, for many, the most viable means of economic survival. Recent attempts to deal with the issue have faced systematic challenges requiring the collaboration of regulators and political officials to harness the sector's development potential. There's more in this report.
The country has been attempting for several years to combat the problem of illegal mining, in which foreigners join or compete with indigenous small-scale miners in an untaxed activity that is meant to be the preserve of Ghanaians. President Akufo-Addo at a 2-day bipartisan consultative dialogue on small-scale mining last year said it would require stakeholders in the small-scale mining industry to engage in honest and candid conversations to stem the tide of the menace of illegal small-scale mining. In 2017, the president stated he will put his presidency on the line in the fight against illegal mining.
And all kinds of people from all aspects of our national life are involved in this exercise. Security personnel, political leaders, businessmen, and dare say it, nananum. Some are all involved in this. I've said it in the cabinet, and perhaps it's the first time I'll be saying it in public. I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter.
But has anything changed? Are we making headway in this fight? Seth Walashime is a mining consultant. He says we must devise creative ways in the fight against illegal mining.
If we put together all these monies that have been dissipated through the formation of these ad hoc committees, we would have resourced Minerals Commission to be able to be present in every mining district. As it is now, Minerals Commission has zoned the country into about 4. And they have their offices, within a vast, expanse of land. And they cannot be effective. So, enough of the firefighting approach and more innovative, creative ways be devised, and also Minerals Commission research so that they can be able to perform their mandate.
The involvement of foreigners in illegal mining activities continues to be one of the challenges the country is facing.
Now, the Chinese embassy in Accra, in a statement, says it is opposed to its citizens engaged in illegal activities in the country and called on Ghanaian authorities to apply the law on anyone who flouts the law. Here are excerpts of the statement with this controversy with a Chinese citizen impacts Ghana's relations with China. In 2018, senior minister said it does not serve Ghana's interest to put Aisha Wan behind bars, as her being in Ghana was benefiting from her country's infrastructure deal, i.e. the Sino-Hydro deal. But will this strain Ghana's relations with China in any way? Ambassador Edward Boateng is Ghana's former ambassador to China. He joins me via phone for a conversation. Thank you, sir, for joining us. You're welcome to Newsbeat. Good afternoon to you. So how should Ghana, take this advice from, Chinese embassy on the back of what happened about 5 years ago when we were told that because of the Sino-Hydro deal, we couldn't deal with Aisha Wan the way the laws allowed us?
Thank you very much for inviting me to share my views on this issue. First, let me correct what you just said. Aisha Wan was never part of the Sino-Hydro discussions. I happen to be the Ghana ambassador representing His Excellency the President at that time. And at no point did any official make that request that because of Aisha, they were going to stall that conversation. So what you have just said is not true.
So if you can put it in a proper perspective, on what condition was she deported instead of being punished?
Well, I was not in the country at that time. I was representing His Excellency the President and the people of Ghana in China. I think that question will be better answered by the authorities who were in Ghana at that time. I was in China. But she was never a discussion in China for me.
Right. So on the back of what the Chinese embassy is also saying, that the Ghanaian authority must punish every China citizen who flouts the law, does it come in good faith? Haven't you having worked there or with them before? Maybe you can tell us if it comes in good faith.
Well, there are Ghanaians in China who are in jail for flouting their laws, and we've never approached them to tell them what to do. I don't think we need a Chinese embassy to tell us how to apply our laws. We have to apply our laws within the context of our constitution. So if the lady has flouted our laws, yes, she has to be punished. And I don't see how that is a diplomatic issue. I think we are overstretching the issue here.
When you say we're overstretching, how do you mean?
I mean, she's not a diplomatic issue as far as I am concerned, or as far as I was concerned when I was ambassador to Ghana, because I never received any correspondence from the Chinese authorities that we should put in a word for their citizens to be released because they have flouted our laws. So if the lady has done wrong, she should be punished within the context of our laws.
So on the basis of what you were saying about Aisha Wan, that it had nothing to do with the Sino-Hydro deal, this is a quote that I'm reading. It says that we have a very good relationship with China, the main company that's helping develop the infrastructure system in Ghana is Sino-Hydro. It is a Chinese company. It is the one that is going to help process the bauxite and provide about $2 billion to us. When there are these kinds of arrangements, there are other things behind the scenes. Putting Aisha Wan in jail in Ghana is not going to solve the problem. It is not going to make you happy or me happy. And this is a quote that I'm capturing from Mr. Safumafo, then at the time.
I think the best person to go and ask this question is Mr. Safumafo, because I was not in the country. So let me finish. He has a better 360-degree point of view. I was in China. I have one perspective. I'm saying that Aisha Wan was not part of the conditions for the discussion of the Sino-Hydro deal and has never been. But if from the quotation that you are saying, I was not in the country, so I cannot comment on it.
Right. When you were in China, was there any arrangement why the Chinese seem to be trooping in a lot into Ghana and engaging in mining activities? I won't say illegal mining, but mining activities in general.
Something in proper perspective. Being part of the mining industry in Ghana is not a criminal offense. However, it's criminal when people flout our laws. And when people flout our laws, we have to implement the laws, whether the person is Ghanaian, Chinese, or whatever. So the fact that the Chinese are in the mining sector itself is not wrong, but are they doing the right thing? That is the question that we should answer. And if they are not, why are they not? So that law has to be put in the right perspective. I think we also have to answer the question, how did the lady get back into Ghana? And we have immigration systems, we have all kinds of systems. So we need to track it back and see how we can solve this problem. But as far as I'm concerned, it is not a diplomatic issue. And I think you can call Honorable Osafo. There's also the Ghana ambassador in China at this time, whether this issue has been brought to his desk by the Chinese authorities.
You say it's not a diplomatic issue?
Not at all.
Right. Ambassador Edward Boateng, thank you for speaking with us here on Newsbeat. We'll leave it here. We're grateful for your time. And he is former ambassador to China representing Ghana. You're also watching Newsbeat on Metro TV. Let's take a breather. We'll be back shortly.
Network service is not working. Nothing is not working. Since in the morning, we have been sleeping here. Me and some man, we bring our bed sheet. We sleep here before the workers even come here. But as at now, they say the network is going. So I want to ask, which network is giving MTN network?
Should I leave my work and be following Ghana card and registration of AS?
Welcome back to Newsbeat. Now, the National Communications authorities moved to block registered SIM cards and data call services has been greeted by mixed reactions. This comes after some persons started experiencing difficulties making and receiving calls. At the Kwame Nkrumah Circle today in Accra, some persons whose SIM cards have been blocked expressed frustration over the move.
The implementation punitive measures meant to force subscribers who have not re-registered their SIM cards. The National Communications Authority last Sunday indicated that persons who have not re-registered their SIM cards will have their SIM cards blocked. This means that they may not be able to receive phone calls and also their data may be blocked. However, Metro News' check at some registration centers indicates that some affected persons are unhappy about the exercise.
I can't make call. I buy credit, 40 Ghana. I can't make call. So I don't understand. So we are MTN people. They steal the Ghana people. Then they steal the Ghanaians. Government, they are not talking about this one. Ghanaians is suffering.
Their network service is not working. Nothing is not working. Since in the morning, we have been sleeping here. Me and some man, we bring our bed sheet. We sleep here before the workers even come here. But as at now, they say the network is going. So I want to ask, which network is giving MTN network?
Me my register. So me chimpa. Hwa do me yakuya. Ese wo so no ofa protocol. Ni e bibia de ye de ma no. Ye protocol yenim ho. Nti ye ka chon. Ko na kaka che so usu se. Enyo mo no musuo se all the time. All the to so.
Afi de duta ma ye call no enko obi fra wa eba. Ye ba be bi se mu no mo se process na enko true. Enko true bo so so ye mo anyi pay. Ye tu amoka na de nti na fe de ani ma na enko true. Etinu yanti asie etinu mama ban so nti si fence digital no mo de ba no in fact e be ha e mo ayen eni o me ko manual.
Should I leave my work and be following Ghana card and registration of SIM card? Did I even say I wanted to do Ghana card and you people said it? Have patience for us. Man must work to eat. This Accra, you not follow this Ghana card and registration of SIM.
Well, it's getting dire as more persons begin to feel the punitive measures actually given to us by the NCA. We have been joined on phone via phone by the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram constituency, Sam George, for more on this, and he has been quite vociferous on the same registration. Sam George, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat. So, what is the minority's position on these punitive measures? And you've already heard some Ghanaians in quite a confused state as they begin to experience it. What are we going to do going forward? Hello, Honorable MP. Okay, we seem to have lost some George there, but let's hand over to Winston, who will actually pursue this interview in subsequent bulletins. Winston, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Annie. I also experienced similar challenges with my network this morning, but we're hoping that...
I hear it's a mix of experience. Some who have registered experienced it, and others who haven't are also experiencing it. So I'm not sure what's going on in the system.
Hope to get more update from the NCA by the end of today.
Right.
All right, it's time for business right after this. Securities, Fritz Moses. Good afternoon. Welcome to Newsbeat.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Great. What is the outlook of the crude oil in the world market, considering the fact that the prices is now below $90 per barrel?
All right, thank you. So, yes, we've been seeing prices continue to fall from Monday. Of course, now it's been three main things that are driving this fall in prices. We have the renewed or the new sanctions, new COVID lockdowns that have been imposed in China's largest metropolis, Chengdu. Yesterday, of course, we're all anticipating that the lockdowns would have been lifted, but it has been extended. So it's driving into the population that demand will be falling further. Also, we heard on Monday the supply cuts that OPEC announced, OPEC Plus announced when it met on Monday. That is also driving fears that demand, supply is outstripping demand currently. Aside that, too, we are seeing the expected rate hikes by the various European and American central banks. We expect that by the end of the day today, you will hear from the European Central Bank on its new rate hikes that it's anticipated to hit the market. All these are driving in inflationary fears and recessionary fears to push prices lower, currently around $88. We began the day around $87. And we anticipate that going into the rest of the week, into next week, we may still see prices still lie below the $90 per barrel mark. Of course, for the finished product, LPG, diesel, and petrol, we are seeing price falls for diesel and for petrol currently around slightly below 10% fall on the international market. Diesel prices have also increased just a bit, around close to 2%. LPG prices are still remaining stable as they were in the last price review. But of course, we anticipate that going forward into the end of the week and in the weekend, we may still see prices continue to fall further.
I want to understand, considering the fact that this global demand supply outstripping demands, is it likely that in the next pricing window, which is the 16th of September, we will likely to see prices at the pumps in our domestic market come down?
Well, not entirely the case, because unfortunately what is happening also on the forex market, the foreign exchange market, the cedi dollar rate, is that we are seeing a different depreciation of the cedi. It's around 2% depreciation that we've experienced over the last 2 weeks. And so, of course, for diesel prices are already going up, LPG prices that are stable, and then for these two commodities, the LPG and the diesel, we expect that the cedi depreciation that's around 2% would fall the price to also go up a bit marginally. Of course, that'll be around 1 to 2%. It wouldn't be just that huge, the jump in prices. But then again, for petrol, the prices have fallen by over 10%, by close to 10%. We will anticipate that should the cedi maintain its current rate against the US dollar, around 9.97 against the dollar, then we will see some marginal depreciation or some marginal fall in the price of LPG of petrol. That's hopefully around 2%, also around 2%, 3% region. But aside that, we expect that the cedi's depreciation would cause the changes in prices in the next from next week.
Thank you for your time, Fritz. Fritz is the analyst with the Institute for Energy Securities. Now, away from that, the management of the Produce Buying Company Limited, PBC, has issued a circular that workers will have their 2022 August salaries delayed because the firm is financially distressed. There is more in the following report.
Social media, the management of PVC Limited has pleaded with staff to bear with them as they work to make the payment. It explained that the salary for August has been delayed because the company is going through financial difficulties. The PVC Limited statement signed by the Human Resource Manager, Mrs. Nanette Aye, reads, "We wish to inform all members of staff that the payment of salaries for the month of August 2022 will delay due to the current financial challenge faced by the company. It is the resolve of management to continuously work around the clock to ensure payment of staff salaries for the month in question." It added, "We urge all members of staff to bear with management even in these difficult times." However, the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, has given details of the government's plan to address the economic difficulties due to recent global and domestic events and assured that government will not roll back on its major policy interventions. Ofori-Atta revealed that Cabinet deliberated extensively on some issues and approved measures to support current efforts to address the challenges Ghanaians are facing at its first regular quarterly retreat for 2022. According to the minister, two forces shaping global events were the COVID-19 pandemic and the crisis in Ukraine, and Ghana's decision to focus first protecting lives and then livelihoods paid off.
That'll be all for business here on Newsbeat. My name is Winston Taki. Phil Junquarte is starting next with sports. Phil?
Well, thank you very much. Up next, we are bringing you the latest in sports. We're back here in Accra. The 47th edition of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana Awards has been launched here in the nation's capital. Kwabena Yeboah is the president of the Sports Writers Association.
Awards is an annual event in which sportsmen and women who distinguish themselves during the year under review are honored by the leadership of the association and sponsors. During the 2022 edition, 36 personalities from various sporting disciplines, administrators and personalities will be recognized. Speaking at the launch of the award in Accra, President of SWAG, Kwabena Yeboah, stated,
Well, that's your sports. My name is Phil Junquarte. Yaya is standing by for the latest in showbiz.
Thank you, Johnny. Entertainment news is next. My name is Anayata Nobuachi, and as our very first story, coined Black Star Films by all, Ghanaian cinema has emerged to take its place on the world stage. But before we explore what makes Ghanaian film so special, let's take a look at how the industry started. Reverend Chris Hoti, who was Nkrumah's personal cinematographer, has been speaking to Metro TV.
The reporters who were sent to the various countries outside the colonial headquarters to film, they were not, to them, I think it was discovered that they were not speaking the truth, they were not presenting the truth. So that was why the colonial government decided to set up a film school to train the locals to shoot their own films, to shoot their films so that they could see the other side of it too. And it started with three Nigerians, three Nigerians, Fajamesin, Otigba, and Launa. And then the Ghana side, we have Samaite, Fenuku, and Bobukanta.
He explained how the name of the film industry altered and his journey as a filmmaker.
The West African Film School had metamorphosed to the Gold Coast Film Unit because they were training, they've had enough graduates. So they changed from the film school to the Gold Coast Film Unit. And while at the Gold Coast Film level, they were still training people back on the job. So the school was, the school changed to the Gold Coast Film Unit, which became the Ghana Film Unit. So we've been attending cinema, Rex, Ra, Riga, those were the old cinemas, particularly Rex. We were going to Rex, seeing King Kong and all those films. So I was a cinema fan. So I said, oh, yeah, I should go and learn filmmaking. So I was admitted in 1954. It was a river of no return. I liked it. At that time, I was preparing myself to, my aim was to do pharmacy at the Kwame Nkrumah University. And I changed my mind. I loved the creative work. So I changed my mind and got stuck. And that's how I became a film man.
That's all on entertainment news. Annie, over to you.
Thank you, Nanai. I didn't hear you pronounce the middle name.
It's okay. The other one.
Anyway, let's give you the international stories now.
Scientists at the University of Oxford have developed a malaria vaccine with world-changing potentials. It is expected to be available next year after trials revealed up to 80% protection against deadly diseases. The scientists said the vaccine is less expensive, adding that they already have a contract to produce more than 100 million doses per year. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has announced new military aid worth more than $2 billion for Ukraine and other European countries threatened by Russia. Blinken said Biden's administration would provide $2 billion in long-term military assistance to Ukraine and 18 of its neighbors, including NATO members and regional secretary partners. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin are set to meet in Uzbekistan next week as Beijing and Moscow step up economic cooperation in the face of Western-led sanctions. The meeting is the latest sign of warming ties between China and Russia. The two leaders are due to meet on the sidelines of Shanghai's Cooperation Organization Summit on September 15 and 16.
And that's all we have for you here on Newsbeat. It came to you live from the Akua studio at North Ridge. We'll join you again at 4 with the News Flash, at 7 with the News Night, and at 10 with Newsline. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.